Hi guys, welcome to part 2 for geometry, talking about triangles. So, triangles, remember, are three-sided polygons because they are a closed figure and they're made up of sides, 3 sides. You can classify triangles in 2 different ways. So in this part, I would like to talk about classifying triangles by the measurement of their angles. So by angle measurement. And the tool that you use to do that is called a protractor. So you'll be measuring certain angles. Now, remember, I did not get to bring my protractor home from school. So what I tried to do was I tried to make my own protractor. I'll tell you how in a little while, because if you want to make your own, maybe you'll be able to do that pretty easily. So anyway, you can see that I tried to make my protractor very similar to this one. So this would be my 0, my flat part on the bottom right here. That's where I would put my vertex, which is the corner where the 2 sides meet. And then I just drew a line straight up and down so that I could see where 90 degrees. I don't really need to have all of these numbers here right now because I just really need to know if an angle is a perfect 90-degree angle or a right angle. If it's smaller than that, then it's an acute angle. If it's larger than that, then it's an obtuse angle. That's really all I needed to know. So this is a very simple homemade protractor, but it does the job. So I have a few triangles here that I have made, and I want to use them to help you classify your angles. So if we take a look at this triangle right here, just make a little guess. It's got 3 angles, so you have to look at all 3 angles, definitely. But take a look at all the angles, and you can turn it around, you can flip it, it doesn't matter, but you can start to make some educated guesses about its angles. So when I start to look at this small angle right here, this is a very small angle, and how you can tell it's a small angle is the 2 sides are close together when they start. I could also turn it over if you don't like to have, it doesn't matter how you measure your angle or how you use your protractor. I'm just going to use mine in a certain way. But so I can definitely see that that is an acute angle because the 2 sides are really close together when they start out. So that's acute. And I look at this one too, and look how close together those 2 sides are. I know that's an acute angle as well. But then I have this one. Look how much farther apart those 2 sides are. I suspect that that one might be a 90-degree angle. So I am going to try to use my protractor to check it out. So I am going to put my vertex where the vertex is, and I'm going to line up the bottom part. So I make sure that's in a line, and that black line goes all the way up. That is a 90-degree angle. So when you have a triangle that has just one 90-degree angle, you classify that triangle as a right angle, All it needs is one right angle, and that's all you have to measure. You don't have to even measure the other ones. The other 2 are going to be acute. But if it has a right angle, it's a right triangle. So there you have it. So angles, by angles, you have a right triangle. And remember, all it needs is one right angle, just like that one right there. Okay, so we've classified that one. There's our right triangle. So let's take a look at this one right here. So I'm looking at how close together the 2 start. Now it sure doesn't look like this right angle did, where it was kind of farther apart, that the two lines kind of began, they were far apart. These ones were closer together, and that's kind of what this one looks like. So these lines look like they're a little closer together, and so does that one, and so does that one. So I'm going to turn it around and just kind of do my measuring and just double check. So here is this one. Okay, so there would be 90 degrees, and that angle is definitely falling in between 0 and 90. So that is an acute angle. That is an acute angle. And that is an acute angle. Remember, anything that falls in between here is an acute angle. So this triangle is classified as an acute triangle because all of its sides are acute. So acute, there's your second one. All of them have to be acute, and then it's called an acute triangle. All of them have to be acute though, all of them. So let's talk about this triangle, oddly shaped triangle. So, now I can see this angle right here. They're real close together. Those two sides look really close together. I can tell that's an acute angle. This side, these two sides right here, oh boy, those are very close together. That's definitely an acute angle. But let's focus in on this angle right here. Now remember that 90 degrees. 90 degrees makes that perfect 90 degree angle. So make your guesses. What do you think? Let's try it out. Okay. So I'm going to put my vertex right there, and I'm going to straighten out that bottom part. And straight up and down would be 90 degrees, but this line, that would be the line you want to look at, is past that 90 degree area. This angle is larger than 90 degrees. So that is an obtuse angle. And so therefore, you are going to classify this triangle as obtuse. All it needs is one obtuse angle, and you classify it as an obtuse triangle. And so there you have some different triangles. Now when you are trying to measure your angles using your protractor, whether it's a fancy one like I have or a fancy one that you have, it doesn't really matter. I would encourage you, if you can, be able to handle the triangles like I have the actual triangles where I can turn them around and I can move them around, because there are certain ways that I like to use my protractor, probably because I'm right-handed, probably because it's a habit of using my protractor, but I like my angles to be facing a certain direction. But with a protractor, there are many ways to use it. So you can be a left-handed person and you can read your protractor from the opposite direction. So if you check out a protractor, they're actually pretty interesting tools. All right, guys, so we've classified triangles by their angles. You can have a right triangle. All you need is one right angle, and that triangle becomes a right triangle. You can have an acute triangle, but all three angles have to be acute. They all have to be acute little angles, and all of a sudden it's an acute triangle. Or you can have an obtuse triangle, and all it needs is one large angle, just like this one, and it's obtuse. All right, so there will be a part 3 when we talk about measuring angles by their side lengths. So stay tuned.